Hey guys, this is Alan with Bothell STEM Coach, and we are continuing on with the AP Calculus 2011 exam. And so here we have the next question here. So we are no longer in the calculator section, so these all have to be done by hand. So let R be the region in the first quadrant enclosed by the graphs. Let's see. This one is the shape of 8x cubed. And this one has the shape sine pi x. And that's just because I know what the shapes of those are. Like sine looks like this, and x cubed kind of moves up like that. Write an equation for the tangent line to the graph of f, this one, at x equals 1/2. Okay, so to do the tangent line, right, I'm going to use slope point form. So I'm going to use y minus y naught equals m x minus x naught. Some people write it with the form with the plus y naught over here on the other side. It really doesn't matter. This is just kind of how I remember it. I think of it as 0 equals 0 if I plug in the point that I'm interested in, or the point that I know that it goes through. Okay, so at x equals 1/2, we need to figure out, we have the y value. It's 1. So that means y minus 1 equals 1/2. Oops, not 1/2. I'm thinking the slope times x minus x naught, or not x naught, but 1/2. So what I need to figure out the slope. The slope is the derivative of x at 1/2, right? So the derivative of x is 24x squared. When I plug in 1/2, 24 1/2 squared. That's 1 squared. Go slower. 1/4 times 24, that's equal to 6. So my equation is y is equal to 6. X minus 1/2 plus 1. And I'll just leave it in that form. That's fine. Find the area of R. The area of R would be the integral where each sliver is the height, is the distance between the two curves, which would be sine of pi x minus that. So I'm gonna integrate from x equals 0 to 1/2 of sine pi x, which is the higher one, minus 8x cubed dx. Okay. So then sine of pi x is just negative cosine pi x over pi, minus 8/4, which is 2x to the 4th, evaluated at x equals 0 to 1/2. I plug in 1/2, I get cosine of pi over 2. Cosine of pi over 2 is 0, minus 2 to the 1/2 to the 4th. And I'm going to subtract, so this is me plugging in 1/2. Now I'm going to plug in 0. Cosine of 0 is 1, so that's negative 1 over pi. And then, that's 0, that's 0. So I'm left with negative, this is 1/16 times negative 2. 1/16, this is negative 1/8 plus 1 over pi. Okay, so that's the area. C, write but do not evaluate an integral expression for the volume of the solid generated when R is rotated about the horizontal line y equals 1. So this line right here. It's going to go through this point too. Okay. And so I want to see what happens when I get this region, which is each one of these sort of slivers gets revolved around y equals 1. Okay. So the shape that it forms is a disk. Okay. Now the disk, I always think of, let me see what I got color-wise here. I always think of the outer radius, big R, minus the inner radius, little r, right? And it's going to form a disk here with this is big R and this is little r. Okay? And so the area is the area of the bigger circle minus the area of the little circle. All right? Oh, I'm over here. So C is I want to integrate, again, from 0 to 1/2. I'm looking at the x coordinates because these slivers are in the x direction, right? This is dx right here, the width of these little slivers. So the area of the disk times that thickness is that little volume of that disk. Okay, so I want to do big R squared, and that's the distance from 1 to this function. So that's 1 minus 8x cubed. Oops. I'm going to square that. Now I'm going to subtract the area of the little disk with the little radius, and that's 1 minus sine of pi x. It's quantity squared times dx. And so that would be the integral setup. All right, let's see how we did on this one. Hopefully I didn't make any arithmetic mistakes. Y equal, let's zoom in so we can see it more clearly. Y equals 1 plus 6x, quantity x minus 1/2, okay? Negative 1/8 plus 1 over pi, and then integral. Oh, I forgot pi. It's the area pi. It's pi r squared, right? So I forgot the pi in front here. 0 to 1/2. 8 minus 8x cubed quantity squared. 1 minus sine pi x quantity squared. All of that integrated. Okay, so I forgot the pi there. That was a silly mistake. Okay, I'll see you guys in the question number 4, the next video. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Please leave a comment, like, or subscribe below to catch up more of the content. And see any links below. I offer free homework help on Twitch and Discord. See you guys in the next video.